Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Ali Wasif, and this is an assignment as part of the coursework of Islamic Wealth Planning and Management, subject offered under Masters in Islamic Finance Practice program under the INSIF. In this assignment, I will be looking at the real estate investment market condition and the opportunity in the Maldives. As you know, Maldives is an island nation scattered in an Indian Ocean, and it is one of the world's most geographically distinct and dispersed countries. The Maldives is a tropical archipelago. We have around 1,192 coral islands, of which 200 islands are inhabited. The scarcity of land is the main challenge for the country's economy. Since it's an island nation, we have the sea surrounded by every single island, and the sizes of the island are very small. We have around 350,000 population scattered in these islands, but the main island, which is Malé, consists half of this population. Approximately 90,000 square kilometers are the special economic zone of the country, out of which only 298 square kilometers are land. Due to its unique geographical makeup, Maldives is home for world-class tourism and for fishing, and we do have a globally competitive edge over these two industries. As you can see in this one, Maldives has approximately 2 billion USD GDP. The country's economy has been, I would say, not so good, but it has been on the increasing trend. Fiscal Outlook looks government has been spending a lot of money, and we have been having a deficit budget for a long time. In terms of, I'm not sure whether you can see in this line, the real estate, in terms of our economic outlook, the real estates is the yellow line, and we do not see much of growth in terms of real estates. The data is offered by the Central Bank of the Maldives, which is the MMA. From this slide, you can see a trend analysis for the major sectors of the country, and you can see the orange one, which is the tourism, which contains the most of the economic contribution. In terms of the composition, our assignment is of the blue nature over here, and real estate is small compared to our economic composition. In terms of the major condition of the country, we see that there's a huge demand, unmatched demand in terms of the supply and demand for the real estate business. As I have said earlier, the country's land is so scarce and limited that people need housing even though they have to pay a lot of money for it. The more than 50% of the population is centralized and concentrated in the Malé region, which comprise the island of Malé and the new island, which is adjacent to the airport island. We call it as Hulumale. We have a unique prospect for this island. Government has huge plans to develop the island so that the country's real estate condition can be improved and proper housing can be given to most of the population. In terms of the congestion, due to the density of the population, we have huge congestion in the main islands around Malé, including Malé, but in other islands which are smaller, but some other islands are a little bit bigger than Malé. Due to the economic concentration, Malé area is always congested, and we see a lot of demand for housing and real estate in this area. As I have mentioned, limited land is one of the hurdles for this industry to grow, but people have to find a solution for every challenge. Due to the size of the land, so far government has not given permission to have high-rise buildings. At the moment, the tallest building in Maldives is made up to 14-story buildings. Normally, it is less than 10-story buildings. But government recently announced that due to the scarcity of land, government is looking in terms of having high-rise building. In fact, two of the government buildings will be having 25 stories very soon, which is part of the Ministry of Finance and for the government hospital. Cost of living due to this scarcity is very high in this area, and the government policies are towards to improving housing condition of the people, and real estate business is having a prospect that may boom in the short term. We see that in the next 3 years, government has a lot of projects of real estates as part of their presidential promise, and a lot of foreign investments, including from companies from neighbor countries, have expressed their interest to develop real estate business in the Maldives. In terms of the opportunities, because of the conditions of scarcity of land, we have limited opportunities to develop, but we can find some opportunities in the real estate market of the Maldives. The demographic composition, we have a huge population of youth, and we see that our population is majorly driven by the youth who will require housing when they start families and when they come to the working class. Geographic disbursement, however, this is a challenge, but we see that if with proper planning and development, like the island of Fulmade near the Maldives, we may develop regional hubs like that, so that government can concentrate on developing economic centers around the country. Government plans, of course, is very promising in terms of real estate and housing. People are promised to provide proper housing, and in fact there are thousands of flats that are developed in Hulumale Island. We also have a new project driven by the government, which is a special economic zones at the north of the country. We see that there are projects like I Heaven, which is driven to accommodate a lot of economic activities around this area. We see there can be huge potential for real estate businesses. Hulumale Island, as I mentioned, is the most promising area for real estate, as the government is concentrating to develop the island as a youth city. Foreign investment, as I mentioned, is always open towards Maldives, and this can be a stimulating factor for the development of real estate. Last but not least, the bridge project, a bridge that will be developed and delivered in 3 years time by 2018. Government is trying to connect the island you see at the background, the Malay Island, to the island that you see far away, which is the airport island, an island that is also connected to Hulumale. So we will be expanding the capacity, the land capacity of Male through land transport, perhaps around 4 to 5 times the available space currently in the Malay Island. Foreign investments are always welcome in Maldives, and I see that including the bridge project and the new developments in terms of the housing units of given by the government, there's a promising return and opportunities for foreign investors towards investments in real estate in the Maldives. As a conclusion, I would like to highlight that for the development and proper management of real estate sector in Maldives, we need a lot of policy level discussions and commitment. We need a lot of planning, and we need a lot of foreign aid, foreign businesses, and also we need a lot of support to give the confidence for foreign investors that Maldives is a good place for investment. Special economic zones, of course, would be one of the major focus in terms of real estates, and foreign direct investments is hoped to be coming towards Maldives. Transportation, as the country is covered with sea, is very important. No matter how well we develop the real estate, there should be transportation facilities to reach the islands and the homes that people want to buy. Last but not least, the financing facilities from the banks and from foreign countries should be promising, so that people can enjoy housing at a proper cost. And that's all for my presentation, and thanks for watching. Thank you.